Hi FlossTube Stitchers. My name is Shelly and this is my shop, Just Stitching Inc., which is in a suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. My vintage stitch today is just a little bit of a mystery to me. I can't remember right now where I found it. If I got it back when we cleaned out my parents' house, then I probably did stitch it for my mom, possibly for Thanksgiving, because there's a Bible verse about coming together to eat. And she did used to host Thanksgiving back in the day before we moved to our current house. But if I found it in my craft room, then it was probably stitched as a shop model. I don't remember stitching it actually. And when I looked on the back, there's a lot of knots and long carried threads. And I don't believe I was ever in a habit of doing that, although I did start off as a surface embroidery and stamped cross-stitch person when I was a teenager. So maybe it was a habit to put knots, or maybe I thought it wouldn't wash well. Anyway, it looks beautiful from the front, and I have a little crow collection that I hardly ever get out because I tend to go from summer things right to Thanksgiving and skip over Halloween because it ends up being a busier time at work. So one of these days I'll get my crow collection out. And I think this would be good sticking out of a tiered tray or in a basket as it was intended. But it was done on that beautiful polyester blend Salem cloth, which drapes really nicely and has never been duplicated by any other company. So unfortunately, when people ask about bread covers now, I don't know what to tell them because everything just seems to be a little stiff to use as a bread cover to drape nicely out of a basket or a bowl. And the soft Aidas or soft Luganas that are hand dyed would drape a little bit better than their solid counterparts, but then you can't wash them or you would be taking your chances. So I guess I'm happy to have a couple of these bread covers left over to use, whether it's actually in a bread basket or if it's just for decoration. Then my finishes today are both from this year's Freebie February. The first one is by Jan Hicks Creates, and it's called This Is Home. And I did it on, now I'm gonna forget, I think it was shoot, I knew that was gonna happen. There was too many things to remember for this video, but it's just a nice neutral fabric. I think is it 28 or 30? Because I used 2 strands of silk, so I'm pretty sure it's not 32. So it's either 28 or 30. And I used a Water Lilies from Caron Collection as the silk, and I just love it. I love how the fillet dresses it up a little bit, and the blue frame just will look perfect in my house. So this was a really fun stitch. This is Home, and it's on her website. If any of these free charts are ever hard to find, you can go back to the video at the end of February or beginning of March whenever I did my recap, and I actually have all the links to all the free charts that I showed. The second finish that I'm showing you is Heart and Hand, or Hand and Heart by Lottie Da. And my framer picked this molding because she thinks it's so beautiful, but she was never sure what people would do with it. And she said, I would be surprised at how many people have chosen this frame for things. And the model was stitched on feldspar, 32 count probably. And I just used 1 strand. And I used different colors, which I don't have the kit with me. Since this came back from the framer, I don't have the original kit. So I think I brightened it up just a little bit. Anyway, I thought that was really fun. I never know what I'm getting back from Bonnie. I even forget what I gave her. So I do have a few more that I'm going to save for next time. All right, then we'll go on to my whips. And I'm not done yet, even though I told Bonnie I would have it done. It's not done yet, and that's okay. She hasn't had much time to work on choosing something for this. Anyway, this is Harvest Tiny Town, including the frill, which are the flowers in the middle or near the middle. And Heart and Hand Needle Art just came out this year. And I think I've changed 2 colors. I don't remember now what I changed. One of them is a solid color for the windows because I just didn't think it was necessary to use an overdye, and I probably didn't have the overdyed. Or I didn't like it, or I thought it was too stripy or something. And then I changed one of the reds because it was either too close to the other red or it didn't vibe with it. But when I'm finished with it, I can give all the changes that I made if there's any more. So this is what I'm stitching for Bonnie on 32 count Prairie Land Lugana from Atomic Ranch. And it's really been fun. I put a few more of the motifs over here and a roof and part of the basket, maybe the fox. I can't remember how much I did since the last time I showed you, but it really is almost done. Maybe one more evening of filling in the windows, and there's another door to do. And anyway, it might be hard to give it away, but since I started knowing it was going to be a gift, it probably won't be that hard. And I think Bonnie might wait to see what Jill Rensel does, because Shepherd's Bush a few weeks ago had shown on Facebook a couple of the previous, sorry, I'm distracted by the sirens, but I'm not gonna cut this and start over because you probably can't even hear that. Now I'm just distracting you for no reason. Anyway, a few weeks ago, Shepherd's Bush shared on their Facebook page 4 or 5 of the previous tiny towns and frames that Jill Rensel and her staff had painted on. So they're not painted mats, they're painted frames. So we might look at things the next time Bonnie's here, and then she might still hold out and wait to see what Jill does that's special, because that would be different from anything else, any other finishing she's done for the tiny towns. All right, then I worked on Love Bits Give Thanks from Heinz It. The colors look a little bit different from the picture, but that's just the printing. So these are colors that were called for. I know the lettering looks lighter. Actually, I'm glad it looks lighter because then the black accent is very striking and gives it some dimension. I probably could have finished this as well, but I don't like one of the inside turkey colors is this 3032, and I feel like it's too green for the other beiges that are used in this. So I may change this and do my floss toss either here at the shop or with a window open or outside or something to make sure I get the right beige in there. And then I was thinking that maybe I wanted to add one of the orange colors to the turkey feathers, because the turkey feathers are really kind of just beige and brown and black. And I've seen turkeys live at a turkey farm, and I know they're not as colorful as we often portray them in stitching, but I really like those orange colors. So I might do the outside of the feathers in one of the oranges. And then because I'm doing mine on I'm pretty sure it's 32 and I'm using one strand, and I always forget that she uses 28, and these are small to start with. And then when I do it on 32 or 36, what was I thinking? I'm just making it really teeny weeny. So she kind of has it shown on like a fabric with a trim around it, and it's probably bigger. So I think I'd probably like to do it as an easel, so I can make it bigger on purpose just by the type of finishing I do. But the charm is going to be too big for what I'm doing. I actually think it's a little big even for this one. So I will probably put it somewhere in a bow or somewhere on the finishing, or maybe even save it for a different project. So as soon as I figure that out, that should be finished in no time. And then I don't know if you can tell, but the turkey is all back stitched, and I'm a little worried. I am using anchor, but I'm still a little worried about back stitching around this with one strand of anchor, just because I think it might look too full, because each of those little squares going all the way around the turkey feathers are individually surrounded. So I'm thinking of using black sewing thread. So I'll let you know how that works out. Then the other whip that I haven't done anything else since Wednesday. So if you saw it on social media, it's exactly the way I showed it. So I had to go back and rewatch portions of 3 previous FlossTubes from a couple years ago, because this was a 2019 Mania start and I had done like maybe half the lettering. And then the very next day I misplaced like the whole, I said in the video that I misplaced the blue corn. Well, I did find a partial skein of blue corn that I may have borrowed for another project, knowing that I was only going to work on this for one day during Mania because I stitched 31 different projects. But I looked at everything else I was working on and I wasn't really using blue corn, but I did find a skein just this week that matched perfectly to what was already stitched on here. So I think maybe that is what happened, but I'm still missing the rest of the threads. They're not filed with, oh, I don't have the whole chart. I only have the color picture of the whole thing. I think I changed the green and the other colors are the same and they're missing an action. So I can't finish this because I'm not starting brand new skeins of overdyed floss for the little tiny areas that are left when I know there's someplace in my house. So I'm literally saying the same thing I did a couple years ago when I was trying to work on this, but I did get farther because I finished all of the lettering. So I was hoping to get this done for this Christmas. My framer's deadline is November 11th, so we'll see. Good thing Christmas comes around every year. All right, so those were just the whips I've worked on. Then my finishes, my first finish is also a freebie. This was from Freebie February in 2021. And I start or show a finished free chart every day in February. And I always try to throw different holidays in there. There's not really a theme. I try to do a little bit of everything. So I just finished this today, actually. And I think it's just adorable. It's by Crochet A Go-Go. I keep saying I'm going to get her charts because she will sell printed charts to shops, or you can order through her Etsy shop. But I just love her designs, especially her Halloween. And I was moving right along. I think the first time I showed it, I had Happy and the 3 pumpkins. And so I did all of the rest of it this week using the DMC colors that she called for, except you know me, I always use white and black anchor, but the other 2 colors are just DMC. And the other night while I was watching TV, I thought, oh, well, I can do the border because, you know, I can kind of tell where it's going to go. I didn't have these letters done yet, but I thought, well, I can just count like how many of these sections are on the side and just do. So I did the whole border. Then when I went to do the lettering, I started and I thought, why are there too many spaces down here? And I realized on the chart, the designer only had 1 space here instead of 2. Designers. Dear designers that I love and adore and stitch their things. Why do you do that? Why can't the border be even? So I had already stitched the whole thing and connected it, so I didn't want to take it out. So I moved the letters down a space, so there's equal space between the ghost and the bottom. I thought it looked a little more balanced that way. And then I also noticed that there was a lot of space left on the side, and so I put the exclamation point, and that filled it in. So I think it's so cute. It's done on, I'm sure it's 32 Alchemy from Picture This Plus. And I've seen recently a few other of her Halloween free charts that I really want to do. I may not wait until Freebie February. I may start one in October. So I don't know how I'm going to finish it. I do have a little Halloween tree, but this is a little big for the size of my tree, so I might do it as a stand-up or something. And when I say I might do it, I might have somebody else do it. We'll see. All right, and then the other finish was a new start this year. Christmas Wishes from Primrose Cottage. And I was thinking of leaving off the French knot eyes and buttons because, you know, sometimes when you're tired late at night, you go, maybe I'll just skip those. But I actually added them today and they look pretty good. So I did, what are they called again? Why am I losing my train of thought? I didn't do French knots. I did, I know you're all yelling at me right now. What is the word I can't think of? Okay, I'll like scream it across here afterwards. I don't know why I can't think of what kind of knot that is, but it makes a little dimple instead of a French knot that kind of sticks out. And since I was only using one strand, I didn't want it to flop over. So I really like doing that mystery knot. You kind of do it in a figure 8, but that's not what it's called. Anyway, now I'm embarrassed that I can't think of it because I always tell people to do it instead of a French knot, you know, if they've had trouble. So anyway, their model is finished so cute. So again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as finishing when this goes, but I do have a gingerbread collection. And I think it would go on my hutch, either in my dining room or my kitchen. So it could be a stand-up. It could be a framed picture and I could tuck it on the shelf as well. But it won't be anything that's going to go on the wall. So yeah, it might be an easel finish. All right, those are all, that's all the stitching I have to show. All right, so we had some more merchandise from, I probably had it last time, but time was running long. So here's a few more things from Needlework Marketplace. Glendon Place had Christmas greetings. And boy, I would just like to do the word Christmas. I mean, I like the trees. They're very fun and modern. I think I would like to just do the word Christmas as a banner or something. I don't know. It's just, I love the writing. And then I took advantage of her thread pack because when shops order from Rainbow Gallery, we have to get 6 of each. And I've learned my lesson about doing that on too many fibers because I just don't sell the rest of them. So I took advantage of getting the pack directly from her for whoever wants it. Then let's see, Farm Fresh Pumpkins and Halloween Wishes. All right, then I should have these facing the other way, but I would probably not catch the name if they were already upside down. So it's a little awkward for me to do it this way, but this way I get it right. The next number are from Rosie and me, and I'm pretty sure these are all, they might be, some of them might be a little bit older, but I didn't have them before. So I tried to only pick the ones I thought were new to show you. This is called A Stitching Good Day. A Busy, no, not A, just Busy Bee. And the owner is a shop owner. So she has a lot of, the owner of this company is also a shop owner. And so she has a lot of stitching related things because she knows. This is called Cross Stitch Friends. And I believe this is meant to be the back of this. Maybe she just used a different picture. No, they actually are 2 separate ones because on the back they list 2 different sizes and 2 different stitch counts. But I thought maybe it could be the back side. cross stitch OCD or insanity. And that also has 2 designs in it. May you find your way home. And she usually always includes the special button or charm. Because again, she knows sometimes it's hard for customers to find those things, or it's hard for shops to buy as many as the charm companies want us to buy, you know, to get a good deal. This is called PhD. Poltergeist Hotel. This is definitely new for this year. I think that's really cute. And the ghost is cute. I've never seen that. And then the next few are from Running with Needle. I always want to say it backwards. Running with Needles and Scissors. And this is the start of a new series. So it's like a tombstone series. And if you look at what it says, her name is Evelyn Eilert. So I think this is going to be a really cute series. And then Acorn Buttons. This is like her stitch that she had at the last market, except she didn't do kits for these. Isabella Lee. Whoops. Star Spangled Shaker might not be brand new, but I had not gotten it last time, so I thought that was a cute set. Whiter Than Snow. Beloved, I think I had last time, but I just wanted to show it again because I've seen it so much on social media. And I just wanted you to know I have it. And this is a new one for this year called My Father's House. I think this is just a printing issue. I don't remember it looking that dark in one corner. I could be wrong, but that's a lot of bricks to stitch. All right, then the Scarlet House. Anne Chilton, 1847. Betsy Jewett. Canine Quotes. I think this is also going to be a series. Does it say that? I think she said it in our email that it was going to be a series. I like those. Ghosts and Goblins. And this was pretty popular, a sampler for all seasons. I believe this was done for a retreat in 2022, and so she brought it out this year for the rest of us. And Scarlet Berries. And then Sarah Barnes sold, so sorry about that. All right, then the other 2 new things we got were, of course, the 2023 issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. And I always like to go through and pick something that I want to stitch right away. And I forgot to mark the page, so I don't remember what I picked, although I do like that owl. There wasn't, well, probably more than one owl in the trees in the metro parks that my parents' deck overlooked at their house in Strongsville. And my mom really enjoyed hearing the owls, and we would sit on the deck in the dark and wonder what they were saying to each other. So the owl would be really cute. I think I did find something that wasn't shown on the cover that I wanted to do. And is there a page that shows all? Well, I'll just show you when I start it. Okay. And then we got the fall issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And of course, and it's Crochet a Go-Go, yay. So I'm definitely doing that. And I'll probably start it this year because I'm so excited about it. I love everything about it. I love that the border's not even. I love there's something weird in the corner. I love the colors of the feathers. Yay. And Thanksgiving's my holiday, if you didn't already know that. So I will be starting that. It's just done on raw linen, I think, with DMC. Who knows if I'll change that. It looks perfectly good the way it is, so I may just leave it like that and not mess with it. And then the Atomic Ranch Fabrics Automatic came, and the color is called Embellish. looks pretty accurate there. They described it as a neutral beige with gray and some random peach running through it. I can show you the back side. Okay, you're not seeing the peach. I see the peach on that 40 count, kind of in the middle, but it's not showing that great there. But I have left 14, 16, 28, and 32 Lugana, and 32, 36, and 40 in linen. If you're interested, because I order extra, not just for the people who signed up for the automatic. If you're thinking about doing it next year, it's going to be a mix of neutrals and colors. And I do have the picture, but I noticed that he hasn't put it on social media yet, and it's not on the retail website, so I'm not sure if we're supposed to show it or not. But anyway, they're all really pretty, and I'm going to participate again. And he's adding 20 count Aida to the mix. So I think I'm going, instead of 16 and 18, I think I might do 16 and 20 next year. But if I have people that sign up for 14 or 18, I mean, I'll do it. I kind of base my automatic on what the first vibes are that I'm getting from customers. And then I'm going to give away one of the PhD charts because the designer gave me a couple charts to offset the cost of shipping, and we can do what we want with them. So I decided I would use it as a giveaway. And it calls for 2 skeins of Concord. I don't have 2 skeins right now, so I just threw one in there so you could see the color. But whoever gets this, you can just tell me which 2 skeins of Weeks Dye Works you want. You could order 2 skeins of the same color to use for this design. Or if you don't want to be put on the spot and have to decide right now, you can just give me 2 skeins, 2 different skeins, or 2 of the same, or something that's neutral that you use a lot of, like whitewash and mascara. But we'll talk about that later. So, I didn't think of a question. Okay, so tell me, no, I don't like that question. I don't like that question. Oh my goodness. Shoot. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Tell me your favorite shade of Weeks Dye Works floss. Even if it's not your major company that you use all the time, I'm sure you could come up with a favorite color. Okay, just put that in the comments, kind of, maybe work it into your comment, and we'll pick the winner by random drawing next week. I am going to do a video next week, and then the following weekend is going to be our tour de stitch, and I'm sure I will be tired, so I think I'm going to show you the slideshow for the Medina Needlework Guild show that just took place recently. So yeah, I think I'd rather, I don't want to do it next week and skip doing another live because I might have a lot to show you next week. So I don't want to hold that until, farther in October. So I think I'll just, since I was going to skip that weekend anyway, I think I'll just put up the Needle Art Show slide video that day. Okay, I guess that's it. Happy stitching and have a great week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.